Alright, hello citizens of the Nigelverse. It is Nigel once again, and this is gonna be another wrestling review. I mentioned plenty of times before on the channel here, but 2008 is when I really started to get into pro wrestling, and more specifically WWE, and then obviously that grew into the love of pro wrestling as a whole. Well, while I didn't watch all the pay-per-views because pay-per-view was expensive, if I did in fact like watch most of like the Smackdowns and everything. Not really Raw because Raw came on a school night, and this hey when I was about 8, my bedtime was 9 o'clock, and by that point, this was back when Raw was 2 hours before they went to 3 hours. But at that time, Raw was pretty much like halfway over, so I was like, yeah, there's no real point to watch Raw. I would tune in sometime. I was like, such as when I saw Jeff Hardy diving off the off the set and everything, but otherwise, I was mainly a SmackDown kid because that was a Friday night. I could stay up however late I wanted to, and especially when I would go over to my grandma's house and watch SmackDown. But I say that to say one of the major rivalries he's prevalent on SmackDown at that time was Edge versus a lot of people, but especially The Undertaker. Kind of stemming from it had some of its origins back the previous year in 2007, as Edge, Undertaker, and Batista were in the World Heavyweight Championship picture. But as Edge became World Heavyweight Champion, and he defended against The Undertaker at WrestleMania 24. I reviewed that for my birthday last year, so if you haven't already, go check out that review. And they pretty much feuded essentially for the rest of the year, eventually culminating in this match. The first, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, the only Hell in a Cell match in SummerSlam history. If I'm wrong, which I more than likely am, please let me know in the comments. But nevertheless, the rivalry culminates here. I'm, of course, talking about SummerSlam 2008 as Edge takes on The Undertaker. As always, I'm not professional wrestling reviewer analyst, just a man who enjoys a good time, and I definitely had a really great time with this match. Perhaps one of my favorite Hell in a Cell matches. I might go that far. Now that I've seen it, and now that I rewatched it for the sake of review. Obviously, I watched it back then, but the review's not coming out till now. So yeah. But anyway, so without further ado, let's get right into it. Now, if you've seen these reviews of mine before, you kind of know how this works. If you haven't, I'm going to be talking about what I liked and disliked about the match. Starting with what I liked, these two absolutely demolished each other, or just a whole lot of back and forth, or not even any pins, which is admittedly some very amazing restraint from both Edge and The Undertaker. As well as something they even point out in commentary that neither Edge nor The Undertaker were really going for pins, which I think really adds to the story being told throughout the match of them just absolutely wanting to maim each other and hitting each other with essentially anything that wasn't nailed down. They were hitting each other with so many weapons Tom and Jerry would blush, including but not limited to the steel steps, the chairs, the camera, and they even went outside the cell, Edge spearing The Undertaker through the cell and them fighting on the outside. Edge then spearing Undertaker, running across 2 tables and spearing Undertaker through the 3rd table, which was a really, really cool spot. So both guys just absolutely maiming each other throughout. Some crazy spots, including in the match itself, as Edge, when he attempts old school, thwarted by The Undertaker before he then chokeslams him through the 2 tables that I believe Edge had set up. So, of course, wrestling logic dictates that if you set the person who sets up the obstacle, whether it be the table or ladder bridge or chair kind of contraption or whatever, is usually the one who's going to go through it. I can maybe count on one hand the number of times that wasn't the case, but normally that's the case. And Ace and Edge going through the table, both men just absolutely being the bejesus out of each other. And it's crazy to think about that the PG era was in its infancy. This is technically the first pay-per-view event, that was TV PG, but still letting Edge and Undertaker, letting them still go all out for this match, I think. Giving them that leeway to allow them to do this kind of stuff, even though we're technically supposed to be PG now. Now, WWE, he still goes there from time to time. It's just a lot more rare. It's not as commonplace as it was in previous generations, but it's still like them and being able to go for that there and put on this type of match. Granted, like I said, still in the infancy of the PG era. I imagine still ironing out a lot of the kinks and everything. Still kind of getting used to the PG format that a lot of stuff you can't really do anymore. Neither Edge, Undertaker busted open, at least on like their heads. Both. Undertaker sliced his forearm open a little bit, and Edge like kind of cuts his back a little bit, but otherwise, even with the quote-unquote confines, still able to put on a fantastic match here. Just absolutely, like, the story he told throughout of them, absolutely wanting to destroy each other, annihilate each other, or what have you. I think the way they told it was very fantastic, including at the end, after Undertaker wins the match. He does hit Edge with a concerto, so kind of getting his, as they allude to in commentary, getting his revenge, because Edge had hit Undertaker with a concerto before, and this is Undertaker's first match back after taking some time off. He was forced to leave WWE after their match at I believe it was Unforgiven, if I'm not mistaken, and where Undertaker was cost the match. Let me see if I can quickly read here. It was One Night Stand, and excuse me. Yeah, it was One Night Stand where they faced in the TLC match. Where if Undertaker lost, he was banished from WWE, which he did, but he was reinstated by Vicky Guerrero. After Edge cheated on her with the wedding planner. Yes, this is when Edge and Vicky Guerrero were getting married. Yay! But after Edge cheated on the wedding planner, who of course was Alicia Fox, so Undertaker's reinstated, and so brought back here. So all these elements of the story kind of coming back. Undertaker ultimately getting his revenge, and then the ultimate revenge at the end with the Undertaker chokeslamming Edge through the ring, and setting it ablaze. They have like the imagery beforehand, like the Undertaker related imagery of like the cathedral and like the ghouls and the scary stuff before Undertaker shoots up fire from the holes. I've never quite understood Undertaker and Kane's ability to generate fire on command, but nevertheless, they're able to do it here. So it's implied that Undertaker sent Edge directly to hell, which is crazy to think about, but it's a fitting ending. Edge finally paying for his sins, and it'd probably be a lot easier than contacting Ghost Rider to give him the penance there. But yeah, so a phenomenal match in that regard. If I had to find something to nitpick about the match, which it's really hard to do, and this is kind of a non-point, a bit too punch heavy at times, but otherwise still that's kind of a non-issue. Definitely recommend checking this match out. No amount of words will really do it justice. You definitely gotta check this match out. Having this match main event, so Undertaker and Edge main evented both WrestleMania and SummerSlam that year, which is pretty cool to think about. But having them main events and then having this being the main event, I think was a very smart choice. And led to a very, very solid match. And to those fans who are concerned about Edge's predicament, him being sent to hell and everything, Don't worry, he'll be back by Survivor Series. But in the meantime, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please do me a favor. Like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends, and turn on post notifications. Every time I upload a video, so you can see it as soon as it drops. And let me know in the comments all your thoughts on the match and my review of the match. Do you like the match? Do you like my review of the match? Let me know. Thank you all so much for watching. I will see you guys later. Peace.